Hey everyone, welcome back. So today we're going to jump right into the tarot and get to know one of the most, energetic and honestly kind of complex characters in the deck, the Page of Swords. You know that feeling, right? That buzz of a new idea that just hits you and you have to share it? That feeling where you're just dying to ask a million questions and tell everyone what you just figured out? Well, that right there, that is the absolute core energy of the Page of Swords. All right, so let's properly meet this character. We're meeting the Page of Swords, the curious truth seeker. And really, this isn't just a card, it's a personality. Think of an energetic, almost restless explorer of the mind, someone who is always on a quest for truth and clarity. I just love this definition, an explorer of the mind, of thoughts, ideas, plans. This is someone who'd climb a mountain just to see the view. It really nails the Page's motivation, doesn't it? It's not about seeking knowledge for, profit or power. It's for the sheer joy of understanding. They want to know the why behind everything. Okay, so if we look at the card itself, the imagery basically tells the whole story. You've got the youth, which is all about that boundless energy and passion. Then there's the sword, a classic symbol for intellect, logic, and communication. The wind, whipping around, that's the element of air, signaling change, new thoughts, maybe even some challenges. And they're standing on a precipice, which just screams new beginnings. It all comes together to paint this picture of someone who is so ready to just leap into a new mental landscape. So let's talk about the upright path, a quest for truth. When you see this card upright in a reading, it means all that energy we just talked about, it's being channeled in a really positive, constructive way. It's about setting off on that quest for truth with a ton of passion and a really open mind. And this quote, wow, it just nails the feeling, right? You are bursting with new ideas and plans for the future. You have so much energy that you feel as though you could do almost anything. I mean, come on. The upright page is basically a giant green light from the universe. Your mind is buzzing, you're excited to learn, maybe start a new project, or just get your message out there. It's that I can do anything feeling. But here's the thing, there's a really fine line to walk with this energy. On the one hand, you have this amazing inquisitive spirit. You're seeking out new perspectives, asking all the right questions to really understand the why. But on the other hand, if that energy isn't focused, it can totally slide into petty gossip. Paying way too much attention to hearsay and getting tangled up in other people's drama. It's a tricky balance. Okay, upright, in life, in love, applying the Page's energy. So, how does all this vibrant, truth-seeking energy actually show up in our daily lives? Let's break it down. This is where it gets really practical. So in love, this could point to a super stimulating intellectual relationship, which is great. But the advice is to make sure you're focusing on connection, not just, interrogating your partner. You got to make sure those emotional needs are met. For your career, this card is honestly fantastic. It's all about ambition, new ideas, maybe even a new job or training program on the horizon. The key is to actually do something with those brilliant ideas. And with finances, it points to a lot of curiosity and new plans for making money, but they're in the very early stages. So the big advice here is to talk to someone with more experience, get some sound financial advice before you dive in. All right, now we have to talk about the other side of the coin, the reversed path, which I like to call a sharpened tongue. And what's super important to remember here is that this isn't some totally different energy. It's the same sharp intellectual force we've been talking about. But now it's scattered, misused, or maybe even blocked. And this is where it gets dangerous. This is when that sword of truth becomes a weapon for deception, for manipulation, for causing pain. That brilliant mind and quick wit, when it's coming from a place of immaturity or malice, it can be used to really hurt people. That gift for language turns into sarcasm, insults, and spreading rumors. You can almost see it as this downward spiral. First, it might just be all talk, no action. Having these huge ideas but zero follow-through, making promises you just can't keep. Then it can get worse. You start using hasty, cutting words, just speaking without thinking, coming off as super blunt or sarcastic. And at its worst, it becomes full-on paranoia and mind games, spreading nasty gossip or just getting really defensive and cynical with everyone. So, reversed in life and love, navigating the challenges, let's look at the specific warnings this card brings when that energy goes off the rails in your relationships and career. This card reversed is a huge red flag for inaction and using your brain power in negative ways. So in love, it could mean you're dealing with a partner who is just argumentative or defensive all the time. Or worse, someone who plays mind games. The advice? Avoid that. Encourage cooperation, not constant conflict. In your career, this could look like job hopping with no real commitment or just being totally unsure about what you want to do. Oh, and definitely watch out for office gossip. It's a big wake-up call to balance your dreams with actual action. And for finances, it's the classic analysis paralysis. You're overthinking every single option so much that you never actually do anything. The message here is so clear. Stop thinking so much and just take one concrete step.
Okay, so what's the big picture here? Let's get to your key takeaway, wielding your words wisely. We're going to bring everything we've talked about upright and reversed together.
First off, let's get right to it. If you're doing a yes or no reading, the Page of Swords is a clear yes. But, and this is a big but, the advice that comes with it is to evaluate things objectively. Use your head. This isn't the time to just go with your gut. It's a time to really think things through logically.
And this right here is really the heart of the Page of Swords. It's all about embracing that youthful curiosity, but making sure you channel it in a good way. So stay curious, but not combative. Ask better questions. Seek out the truth, not the drama. And maybe most importantly, remember that it is totally okay not to have all the answers right now. Your willingness to just learn, that's what really matters. So that leaves us with one final question to think about. With all this incredible energy for new ideas and new perspectives just waiting for you, what new truth are you ready to explore?
We've created a beautiful Tarot Infographic Handbook and a Learn Tarot coloring book too. Check them out using the link in the description. See you next time.